All right, I totally forgot to film an intro for this video. So this is actually not the look that I'm creating today, but today I am doing a fall like throwback Thursday. So I'm using a few palettes that are older. They're fall favorites that I've loved for years. And let's go ahead and jump into that look. Now, I feel like now that it really is fall, like, I don't know, I love the makeup more during the fall. In the summertime, I'm always like wearing like less makeup, and like fall is the time to be a little bit more glam. But I want to use some of my favorite fall products. And they're not like exactly fall themed, but inside these palettes, they kind of scream fall to me. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a throwback Thursday. And today I'm going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Fatally Yours palette. Now this one is full of mattes. This is like the collaboration with Bailey Sarian, like the first go around. And since I love Melt Cosmetics so much, I figured I'd pair it with another Melt Cosmetics palette. And that one would be the Bad Side Zodiac Fire palette, because this one also screams fall. So inside the Melt Cosmetics Bad Side Zodiac palette, it looks like this. You get your browns, oranges, reds, like fall. Okay, you got yourself a leaf in here. And then in the Bailey Sarian palette, the Fatally Yours, these are all mattes, but you have like this section right here that screams fall. And then you have some other deeper tones that would work as well. So I'm gonna play with these two palettes. And then since there's not really a topper, a sparkle within these palettes, there's a couple in the Bad Side Zodiac palette, but I'm gonna pull out one of my favorite palettes that I own, and this is going to be the Danessa Myricks Freedom palette. Now I'm going to probably play with a shade within this 6 pan. Now I actually haven't filmed in quite some time. I don't think I filmed since I've been back from Cancun. And I went to Cancun last month. Keegan surprised me with a little trip, and we went for, I think, 4 days. But we went for 4 days, and then like I just kind of got busy, okay? Between the 3 kids, but with the divorce coming towards an end in a good way, thank God, because that was getting really stressful. And then I also now kind of have a part-time job-ish. So I work on like Mondays and Fridays. So, I mean, it doesn't like put me in a position where I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. But I've just been so busy. And now that it's fall, I also feel like putting on more makeup and putting myself more together, because there was a while that I didn't want to put myself together, and I'm going back to taking more pride into having more pride in my appearance and taking the time to care more. So probably because maybe I was depressed, maybe that probably has something to do with it. Who knows? But this is also a little bit of a sneak peek for tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be sharing my fall favorite makeup, like all my palettes, some blushes, some lippies, all of it. But today I'm gonna play with 2 of the palettes. So I wanna start off with the shade Serum. Oh, no, actually I lied. I wanna start off with the shade Thallium. So it's gonna be like a really nice burnt orange, and that is in the Bailey Sarian palette. I also saw recently that Tati Westbrook released brushes, and you know what? I was really interested in them until I saw that they were like bundled. I was like, oh no, I don't want any more face brushes. I've got so many. But I was looking at her brushes, and they just looked really familiar. And they look familiar in the way that I have high expectations for them when I do pick them up, because they remind me of Scott Barnes brushes, which I use quite a few Scott Barnes brushes. I believe I have the full Scott Barnes collection when it comes to the eyeshadow brushes, the face brushes, all of that. But they just look so familiar that I kind of want to test them together, like obviously like feel them and see if like the fibers and the hair is like the same. But I was like, man, because this is a Scott Barnes brush. This is like the 63, but it's like a fan brush for your eyes. But I use those brushes all the time, and to see like Tati come out with like a full line of brushes that look similar, it got me very interested. But like I said, I haven't purchased them because I was not interested in buying the bundles, because when I looked at them, all I could see was like, oh, I like those 2 brushes from that set, or that brush from that set. I didn't want to buy them all. But I have a lot of, I wouldn't say crap, but I have a lot of stuff, and I don't need to collect all the stuff anymore. I just need well, it's not even a need, okay? I just only want what interests me, and I don't want to have too much stuff, even though I have a lot of stuff. Gosh, that is a beautiful shade. It just reminds me of pumpkins. Like, oh my God, I love it. But because I don't buy all the stuff, right? I don't buy everything that's released. So unfortunately, some of the stuff that I like to use all the time, including this palette, are not available to purchase anymore. But I still think that even though you can't buy it anymore, it shouldn't put you off from not using it. And so I've kind of made it a point to use what I have and show it love anyway, like on camera, off camera, on TikTok, not on TikTok, or whatever. Because, you know, there's a chance that some of y'all might have this palette and might be a little bit inspired to use that palette, or inspired in general to just go through what you own and use something that's not popular or viral anymore. Now, I have bought new palettes though. I'm just waiting for 2 of them to come in because I haven't tried this brand before, but I've seen a lot of people like rave about it, and it's Glaminatrix, and they came out with this beautiful bonfire palette, but I pre-ordered it before of all the tariff bullshit. So I actually just paid my tariff, so it should be coming, I think tomorrow, I don't know. But I did get 2 palettes from Glaminatrix because if I was like, well, this is before the tariffs, I pre-ordered beforehand. I was like, well, if I'm paying shipping from Australia, I might as well get 2 palettes. So I treat myself, right? So I picked up 2 palettes, and then like it was announced that you could cancel your order because of the tariffs. Well, I didn't, it's not that I didn't care, but I already placed the order. I was already really excited about it. I was like, oh, the tariffs can't be too bad. Y'all, I paid $30 in tariff to get these 2 palettes to my house tomorrow. So I'm really hoping that they are fantastic, but I'm also relieved to find out that they have found a way to like have a warehouse in America, but also now include the tariff prices, which are cheaper, on their website. So if I do love these palettes and I want to buy more from this brand, it would be possible without spending as much as I already did. But I won't know yet because they're not here. Now I want to use this really beautiful dark burgundy shade right here. It's like almost black on camera, but it's not. It's like my shirt, but it's a little bit darker. And that's the shade Serum. And I'm going to use that for my outer corner. I absolutely love like a dark, deep burgundy. I think it's perfect for the fall and like perfect for like spooky season. Like it's just one of my favorite shades to play with for eyeshadow. And it's like perfect to deepen out the outer corner of your look without using black, which is what I'm doing today. I also need to keep in mind that I have open house this afternoon at my kids' school. So we can't go over the top, but I might be full glam to go to the school. I don't really care anymore. Man, I might have gotten a little carried away with the darker shade, but I really do love it. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Arsenic, which is going to be the lightest shade in this palette. I'm just going to place it in the inner corner to add the brightness before I go in with other colors, because I'm trying to stick to this palette before I pop into the other Melt palette, so that way I'm not constantly like opening shit and I'm making a massive mess, because that is one thing I am great at. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in my inner corner. And then finish off the lids with that same shade I laid down on the crease. So that's going to be Thallium, that pumpkin orange. And I'm only putting that there because I'm going to put a shimmer on top of it, and I need something underneath that shimmer. So, because the shimmers I'm going to use have that clear base, so I need something underneath it. But I love the basicness. I love being the basic bitch that loves fall. I can't help it. For a very long time, though, I refused to have a pumpkin spice latte. And that was like, maybe like 2023 and beforehand. And I was like refusing to fall into, oh my God, I don't want to be that person that just absolutely has to have a pumpkin spice latte. Guess what? I really like them. Only hot though. The cold ones, I don't understand having a cold pumpkin spice. That's disgusting. But a nice warm one, I might treat myself to one of those today. I just wish I lived in a state or climate that still wasn't 95 degrees outside today. But there is nothing I can do about that, because I'm pretty sure I will be living in the state of Texas for the rest of my life. Okay, so I got the basics down on my lids. So I want to go ahead and do my under eye real quick with the Bad Side Zodiac. And for years, I've raved about this being one of my favorite fall palettes. I'm pretty sure nothing's gonna really change my mind about that, but you do get like everything you need in one little palette. So I'm gonna start off by putting the shade Drama Queen, which is going to be this matte yellow, in the inner corner underneath my eye, because you gotta have a little bit of yellow in your fall look. And it's not just like, oh, a bright yellow, it's like a mustard dirty yellow. So it's like kind of perfect to keep the look grungy, which is my preference. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Bossy. So it's gonna be this orange right here. It's gonna be brighter than that thallium shade, but where it's still kind of, you know, a pumpkin orange, but not as deep. And I do like the idea of doing something neutral on top and then something brighter on the bottom of my lids. I mean my eyes. Now I am gonna go back into Fatally Yours to use the darker Serum shade in my outer corner so that it will tie it all together. This might be a little bit too dramatic and bold to go to my children's open house this evening, but I'm not gonna wipe it off. So I want to add some shimmer, and I really love this. Like, I like the concept of the Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette, like this version specifically, but I also just love the formulas of these shadows. They're so unique. And I do love my other Lightwork palettes, but this one has become my favorite because the fact that she's also like adding expansions to it where you can kind of customize it and you can kind of just do 6 at a time or swap them out with different ones. Like I do have the pastels in the middle that did not come within this palette. That one's put away. So I'm going to play with this little 6 pan here, and I'm going to use this really beautiful orange shimmery shade. This one it's got a translucent base, but it's pressed on the eye. No matter what color you lay down underneath it, you can definitely see the orange in it. It's a bit of orange, a little bit of pink, some gold, just a beautiful shifty shade. So I'm going to use that in my inner corner and about half of my eyelid. And then to get into the inner corner with some precision, I'm going to use a silicone brush, because I find that a silicone brush works just as well as a finger if you cannot get your finger in your inner corner. And I never can get my finger in the inner corner. My nails are always too long. But what's really sad is I actually haven't really had the opportunity to decorate my house for fall, because in the middle of selling it, well, it's listed, but it turns out nobody really wants to buy a house once school started. It is a pain in my ass. But now I'm also like, I want to decorate it, but I can't decorate too much because if we have a viewing, it's going to put people off the house. And it's disappointing because I really enjoy decorating for like different seasons. I love decorating for fall. I love decorating for the holidays. I really like decorating my front yard. I got a 12-foot skeleton. I love him, okay? And I love to put him up. And then this year I can't. But then also I'm about to move like this room to downstairs in the office because I think it's time for my boys to split rooms because they currently share a bedroom. And I think it's time for them to have their, like, my oldest have his own room, and obviously my youngest will have his own room too. But it's just like, man, I got a lot of shit to do and I'm not even keeping this house. And I can't even put a fucking pumpkin out. But I'm gonna quickly pop a liner on and do the other eye and move on to some lippies. I bought a new lip liner that I'm excited that I bought. And I'll be right back. Okay, so for my finishing touch for my eyes, a product that I love to use during the fall, especially for an inner corner highlight. I don't always use it for like a highlighter, but it is the highlighter in the shade Pumpkin Pie from Ofra. It is like an orange toned highlighter, but it has a really nice glow to it. And this just looks really nice in the inner corner without like being a shimmery inner corner like highlight on your eyes. It's just a nice orange glow. And that is what I'm gonna put on my eyes before I move on to some blush. But just to tie everything together. And I just love playing with oranges in the fall. So I'm just gonna pop it in there. And it's just to add a little bit of glow. It's not to like intensify my look in any way. It's just to bring back brightness, but also being cohesive with what I laid down. And honestly, I have not been into highlighters lately. I've been more into just using them for my inner corner. Don't know why. I just like prefer to have more blush on than having a highlight on. And depending on how this look goes, depends if I put a highlighter on at all today. For blush, I'm going to be using the Bare Cheeks face palette from Blend Bunny. I love all these shades, but I really want to use the 2 orange shades in this palette. Focus like the darker orange out here at the like edge of my face and blending the lighter shade, which is going to be making me blush, towards the center of my face. I also just like to make things really complicated for myself. Like if I'm going to put on makeup, I want to do a full beat, and apparently I want to put on more products than that's necessary. But I do like wearing multiple blushes because when you blend different shades together, you get more of an airbrushed look, and it also, I mean, it looks like I took more time, even though I did take more time, but it just looks nicer. So I'm focusing the shade In Charge, which is going to be that darker orange, just right here. And then the shade Making Me Blush, which is the lighter, more neutral orange, and I'm going to blend it down in towards my face. And I'm gonna put a little bit up here as well, because I like lots of blush. I'm a blush whore. Unfortunately, this is another product that you can no longer purchase, but I love it. I love it. And I'm trying to think if I have any other orange blushes. I don't think I do, because I just use this palette when I want an orange blush, like a more toned down orange blush. And I love browns or red browns for my fall looks. And I actually bought a new lip liner because I don't know what it is lately, but I'm really loving the MAC products that I own and wanting to buy more MAC products. So I went ahead and picked up a MAC lip pencil in the shade Chestnut. Is this Chestnut? It is Chestnut. When I went to the mall the other day, I went for a different product and came out with that product and others. But I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with this really beautiful deep brown lip liner. Now I'm going to quickly blend that out before I pick a lip color. So I'm torn between 2 different lip shades that I absolutely love. They're both from Fenty. So one is the Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Underdog. This is just like a deep burgundy brown shade. This color is absolutely gorgeous. So it's between this shade, and then also I have the Fenty Velvet Icon. This is in the shade Breadwinner. So this is a nice deep chocolate brown. So I've got 2 different shades. Now both of these do dry down matte. One just looks more like velvet and the other one's just matte. I think I'm gonna go with the burgundy shade. I really should have put my lip rings back in after or before I put my lipstick on, because now I've made a mess on the side of my face. Because it is hard to get these hoops to snap, okay? So I'm like pinching my face to get them to close, and I forgot to put them back in earlier today because I've been really on using my Medicube device, which I swear to God has helped with my acne. And it says not to use metal, and like you can't have metal on your face when you use it, and I don't know what it will do. So I take my lip rings out. Usually I just sleep in them, I don't really care. But now I've got lipstick everywhere. Look, Keegan brought me a pumpkin spice latte. It's like he knew I wanted one after I finished filming this look, that I needed a PSL to match my fall vibe. This is my final look. Like I said, I didn't think I was gonna add highlighter. Like I kind of was thinking about it, but honestly I like the way my face looks without it. I'd rather have more blush on than put a highlighter on. And this is kind of the vibe I've been feeling lately. But if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, bye y'all.